Hi everyone, I'm Sheryl Sandberg and I'm really excited to be joining you, at least virtually, at Edmodocon today. I wrote a book recently called Lean In, and I wrote it because we face a really important challenge in our country and around the world. Women and girls are doing better and better in education. Women started getting more than 50% of the college degrees over 30 years ago, yet in every industry, we still are overwhelmingly led by men. There is not a single country in the world, United States included, that doesn't have 95% of its large companies run by men, just as one example, and that's true in every industry. So I'm really excited to be able to join you today to talk about what we can do to change the trajectory for girls. The research shows that we start encouraging boys to lead, and we actually start discouraging girls to lead from very, very early ages. We use the word bossy, a word we almost never use for boys, for little girls, starting when they're very young. When a boy leads, there's no negative word associated with it because we expect leadership. But when a girl leads, we call her bossy, or we do other things to discourage her. At my wedding, my younger brother and sister stood up and said, "Hi, we're Sheryl's younger brother and sister." But we're not really her younger brother and sister. We're really her first employees, employee 1 and employee 2, because Sheryl never really played as a child. She just organized other children's play. I laughed. Everyone there laughed. It's a really funny story. But when you think about it, it's funny because leadership is so unexpected in little girls. We would never tell that joke at a wedding about a little boy. Just the other day, my sister-in-law was at a hospital visiting a friend in Los Angeles, and she took a picture in the gift shop. And it had little scrubs for boys and girls. The boys' ones were in blue or green, and the girls were in pink. And the boys' ones said doctor in training, and the girls' ones said nurse in training. We start internalizing these stereotypes very young, and they extend as we get older, and they are part of the basic reason we don't have as many women in leadership roles. As part of my book tour, I had the opportunity to go around the world and speak to lots of audiences of professional men and women. And I did the same thing every time. I would say, if you're a man, please raise your hand if anyone's ever told you you're too aggressive at work. Very few hands, maybe 5%, 10% at most. If you're a woman, please raise your hand if anyone's ever told you you're too aggressive at work. My hand and everyone else's were up. Again, the same behaviors, and this is what the research shows, the behaviors that help you lead, that help you form teams, that help you train others, are considered normal and expected and applauded in men, and are really discouraged in the form of being too aggressive for women. That's what Lean In is trying to change. Working with great communities like yours, we want to help people understand that you shouldn't call your daughter bossy, you shouldn't call your students bossy, you should say, that little girl, she has executive leadership skills. We should understand that the messages we send are so important to training not just our girls and boys, but our men and women to lead. I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. And I've watched as they've entered school. My son just finished 2nd grade. My daughter just finished kindergarten at the public school in our area. Their teachers are the most important influences in their life. In some ways, I think as important or sometimes more than their parents and their friends. I watched as my son's kindergarten teacher, he loved guitar. My son still wants to play guitar. He loved the Giants. My son still loves the Giants. And the same thing happened with my daughter. That's why Lean In is so excited to be partnering with the Edmodo community, forming Lean In together so that we can work on the messages we send, girls and boys, so that we can live in a world that's more equal. We hope all of you will join us. We have a Lean In section on the Edmodo website. Join us, tell us your stories, use our educational materials, contribute what you know, because you are training the leaders of the future back to the community. We're also going to be working with you more this fall on how we can all work together to stamp out the word bossy, so we'll come back to you on that. In the meantime, Have a great conference. Know from me, from all the parents out there, that the work you do is some of the most important in the world. And I'm excited to be working with you on training the next generation for leadership.